good evening, our dearest viewers from NBC Studio. This is Lana again with you, and of course, Owais is here. How are you?
I'm glad to be here today.
That's great. So what do we have for news for today?
On the new episode of NBC Journal, we're starting tonight with the briefing news with Bassam.
Yeah, of course, and continuing our episode with the clash between Palestinians and the Israeli police in Al-Aqsa Mosque at Eid al-Adha.
And Visit Palestine.bs was launched newly to advertise tourism in Palestine.
And we're going to have a tour with Bassam in Jenin to talk about the exhibition and the universities abroad.
Last but not least, we're having tonight in the studios Nusayr Arafat. But before we see anything, let's see the briefing news with Bassam.
Thank you, Lana and Owais. Israeli occupation forces killed 3 Palestinians and injured a 4th in one artillery attack near the town of Beit Lahya, north of the Gaza Strip, according to the Ministry of Health. A paramedic was injured by Israeli occupation forces during clashes in the town of Abu Dis, east of Jerusalem, according to Palestinian Red Crescent. Prime Minister Mohammed Shtayyeh slammed Israel's move to bar U.S. Congresswomen Rashida Tlaib and Ilham Omar entry ahead of a planned visit to the occupied West Bank. 2 Palestinian resistance men from the northern West Bank Governorate of Jenin have completed 18 and 20 years behind Israeli prison bars, according to the director of the Jenin office of the Palestinian Prison Society, Muntasir Samour. The Euro-Mediterranean Human Rights Monitor and HUMENA for Human Rights and Civil Participation said in a statement that the systematic destruction of Palestinian homes and property in occupied East Jerusalem amount to ethnic cleansing and is approved by the U.S. administration, which has legislated these crimes. The Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions Movement for Palestinian Rights called last week for the boycott of 3 anti-Palestinian German clubs because of their complicity in Israel's oppression of Palestinians, according to a statement by the Israel Boycott Movement. The U.S. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, a Michigan Democrat and the daughter of Palestinian immigrants, said that she had decided to cancel her visit to her grandmother in the West Bank under Israel's oppressive conditions. Jordan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates summoned the Israeli ambassador in Amman and asked him to immediately convey a firm message to the Israeli government that it must immediately cease all violations and attempts aimed at changing the historical and legal status quo in Al-Aqsa compound, according to Jordan's Petra news agency. These are the news for today. Thank you for watching.
Around the world, Eid should be something for Muslims to enjoy their life, to visit their friends and relatives, and to do some prayers. But in Palestine, especially in Jerusalem, the occupation forces fired grenades on Palestinians to disperse them while they were doing some celebrations in front of Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Clashes occurred between Palestinians and Israeli police force, and the Red Crescent reported at least 14 injuries in the hospitals. Sadly, Eid started in that way in Jerusalem, the holy place.
So let's see this video graph together to see what was happening there.
still again in the studios. Bassam has joined us. Bassam, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good. You had a long holiday. How was it?
We did actually.
Yeah.
It's been a week now. We haven't been reunited. Have you guys heard what happened over Eid?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
we
of
were
course.
going to ask you about that, about the occurrences that happened in Jerusalem on the first day of Eid al-Adha.
What I've noticed so far in every celebration, every Arab Islamic celebration, that goes on in Palestine, a crisis happens from either the Israeli authority or any other authority. Things keep happening. Like the occupation forces penetrated the Aqsa Mosque, and smoke grenades, all kinds of things were used to kick people out.
I heard the clashes that happened between the Palestinians and the Israeli forces were because of there's some sort of a Jewish fasting day that overlapped Eid al-Adha.
Yeah, at the same day of Eid
But
al-Adha.
you can always deal with problems differently, but
I
it's
think
like violence is
Palestinians are
always used.
cursed wherever they go, whatever they do, they're cursed, and somehow. But moving, we always talk about Palestine and about the conflict and the big issues in Palestine. But there is something new that happened, and
What
it's
is
in
it?
Bethlehem.
Oh, what is
And
it?
it's a great website for tourists if they would love to join us in Palestine to
I've
see.
seen that. It's
Yes.
visitpalestine.ps.
Visit palestine.ps, and it's full of you can go tours, you can
looking at
book
the
your tour
situation.
and also your hotel.
Looking at the situation, we've become we've been trying to become an independent state. Palestine is an independent state. We don't want to be called as Israel or any other. It's a good step to make this website, create this center that's in Bethlehem.
And to advertise tourism.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I was on the website when I heard we were going to talk about Visit Palestine BS. I was on the website, I checked it out. There was even tours, scheduled tours. There was some sort of...
Yeah, it's so rich actually with the events also, and you can pick hiking tours, biking tours. They have a lot of
I
things,
use
and also
Google Maps
events and
sometimes.
festivals.
I use Google
Yes.
Maps and I always get lost. It's
Yeah.
good to have something really you can depend on.
Yeah,
to
sometimes
help you
Google
around.
Maps in some cities, they don't work inside
Exactly, and there's always dead
Palestine.
ends. So it's good to have this going on.
So it's not only also a website. We should tell people it's also a center, and it's like a primer center online, like a primer online destination guide for tourists in Palestine.
Exactly.
Let's see this video together, and we'll be back. Moving to the United States, and Trump insults a rally protester for serious weight problem.
This is so unbelievable.
So Trump has overstepped himself once again, giving a rude comment to one of the protesters. Yeah, the protester can be against you or with you.
I thought we were fighting
Yeah,
bullying.
it's so immoral.
It is bullying, actually. You can say he's a bully, but you're the president of the United States. You can't bring yourself to that position where you can throw a comment like that.
And as you said, even if they are supporters or against, or they are protesters, you should not deal with people in this way. It's inhumane.
Exactly.
Let's take a look at this video graph, and we'll be back.
That guy's got a serious weight problem. Go home, start exercising. Get him out of here, please. Got a bigger problem than I do. Got a bigger problem than all of us. Now he goes home and his mom says, "What the hell have you just done?"
Another wrong action from the US administrations and the Israeli occupation forces with Ilham Omar and Rashida Tlaib.
So Rashida Tlaib is like the first Palestinian congresswoman in Washington, D.C., in the White House. And she was banned from entering her homeland, which is Palestine, and going back home for the Eid celebrations to visit her family, see her family, see her brothers and sisters and cousins, and like celebrate how every Palestinian celebrates the Eid. And she was banned and pulled out from entering Palestine as soon as she was at the doors.
Which is her right, her homeland, her friends and families are here. And because she's a Palestinian, they did this thing with her,
Entering
right?
Palestine was, for her, was conditioned. Isn't that right? I hear like there's some sort of.
In other words, in order for her to enter Palestine once again, she has to stop the PDS movement and all the other actions that she's been trying to do for resistance and defending Palestine, and come to re-enter Palestine. So it goes against her identity, her morals, all kinds of things that like she would never accept the terms to. So NBC Studios visited Ramallah and her hometown of Rashida Tlaib and visited her mother, interviewed them, and see what their point of view, what happened exactly. Let's check out the video right now.
رشيدة شو لها زمان ما جيتش عليه من يوم ما اتجوزت ما جيتش عليه.
Rashida didn't come here since she got married. Who doesn't like his or her daughter to come back to the homeland? I was so angry and sad when the Israeli authorities banned her from coming to home. Why they did so?
بقول أنا جاية بشرتي ما رشيدة بدها تيجي وفرحنا.
A study showed that music reduces anxiety and it boosts mental health and it increases the pattern of positive thoughts. So, the both of you, what kind of music do you prefer? Or like, what is your favorite artist, music category?
I do prefer Western music, but in Palestine, I love the singer Omar Kamal.
Omar Kamal?
You've heard about him,
Yes,
right?
the Arab version of Frank Sinatra.
Sinatra.
Yes.
Yeah, he's saying Multani, like some sort of a, I don't know, a cover or?
Lots of people sing Multani, but like Omar Kamal, no one sings Multani. You know what I mean? It's different how he sings it, how his voice, his tone, his empathy, how it shows around.
His voice is really
Yeah, what about
nice.
you, Lana? What is your favorite type of music?
I was about to talk about Omar Kamal, but I think like,
He's always in our minds.
yes.
And I went around Nablus and asked people about their favorite singers, about their favorite artists, and let's check it out together. Hello dear viewers in NBC World. We'll be looking at today at the dynamic culture exchange in tastes and music, and we'll be asking some people questions about what's their favorite type of music, either Eastern or Western, pop or rock, and classic. So let's look at their answers right now. What is your favorite type of music?
English music.
English. What type of English music?
Pop.
Pop music?
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
It's Unstoppable Today, and
I think it's by Sia, right?
yeah.
Sia? How about you sing us a little part of Sia's song?
Nice.
Let's go together. We're unstoppable.
Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Yeah, and this.
And it goes out like a hardcore rhythm.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. So we're with
مرام
Maram. So what's your favorite type of music?
نصيف
Nasif Zaytoun. Okay, so what's your favorite song with Nasif Zaytoun?
تكة
Tekke? Can you sing us a song with Tekke?
maybe yeah
So we just found Hussein crossing the street, and he's from Canada.
Yeah.
We have mutual interests.
Yeah.
Hussein, what's your favorite music?
So a lot of my music is hip hop and rap, R&B mainly.
R&B.
R&B, hip hop, rap, yeah.
Who's your artists?
Artists would be Tory Lanez, Yoko Gold, Wolfgang Peterson,
Wait.
Hollywood Sauce.
I haven't heard of them recently.
They're all Toronto rappers. Toronto game, Toronto talent, my friend.
So they're trying to play the big game.
We are the big game.
You are the
we
big
are
game.
the big game.
My mistake.
We are
my
the big
mistake.
game.
How about we try to sing a song together, or a rap song together?
All right, yeah.
What do you know? What are you comfortable with? Let's
Honestly,
see.
man, I'm not a big singer, to be honest.
Well,
but,
let's do something no one understands. How about we do "Look at Me Now" by Chris Brown and Busta Rhymes?
All right, you
All right.
can.
The Busta Rhymes one.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm running. Because I feel like get away,
Yeah,
but never
yeah,
stop, and every
yeah.
day they go. All right, man, take it easy.
Okay, bro.
Thanks a
Yalla.
lot.
بنشوفك.
Take it easy.
Take care.
So we're with Iman. So Iman, what's your favorite music?
I like Arab music.
Arabic music? What type of Arabic music?
I like Arab rap.
Arab rap. Rap is Western and Arab is the Eastern. Who's your favorite artist?
Tamer Nafar and Sirajuddin.
Okay, let's go with Tamer Nafar. What do you know? What's your favorite song about Tamer Nafar?
بلا سلام يا صاحبي.
So I just found my old friend Ramses walking around the city center. Ramses, I know you, but I don't know you. What's your favorite song? What's your favorite music?
Well, it depends on my mood actually, but kind of old school. I like, for example, in the morning for Fairuz.
Fairuz in the morning.
It's like other types are Rai for Sheb Khalid. It's very
Aisha.
and other types, for example, are like the Palestinian artists like Muhammad Assaf, Mais Shalash.
So what are you gonna sing for us today?
Well, recently my favorite is the Spanish reggaeton music. So
Let's do this.
kind of
Let's do this. Let's do this. I want to hear Spanish.
well, it's nice, but the most famous one right now is Despacito.
So we're with
My name is Dal Nasser Shtiya. Dima Nasser Shtiya.
Dima Nasser Shtayi. I think I'm familiar with your father, Nasser Shtayi. He's a journalist, right?
Yes.
Journalist. He's like at the pyramid, the peak of the pyramids.
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. So what's your favorite types of music?
Turkey music. Turkish. Yeah, Turkish.
Also Turkish. So sisters and Turkish. Let's see you sing a song in Turkish. Any classic song.
كل عام وانتم بخير اللي happy birthday in Turkey.
Happy birthday in Turkey. Okay, get closer and let's do this.
Yeah. İyi ki doğdun sevgilim. İyi ki doğdun sevgilim. Yeah. My dad's birthday is in September. This is a gift for you. Yeah. İyi ki doğdun sevgilim. İyi ki doğdun sevgilim. İyi ki doğdun.
Happy birthday, Nasser Shtayi. Happy birthday. I hope you see this. You got two wonderful daughters. All right, take it easy, guys. Thank you.
Today we're hosting the director of civil society in Naples and the coordinator of the twinning program with Stavanger city in Norway.
Let's welcome Mr. Nasir Arafat. Hello and welcome here. It's an honor for us
Good
to have you
evening.
here.
Thank you for
Hope you had a good
inviting me for
vacation
that.
during Eid.
Alhamdulillah, all is good. Let's hope that happiness will remain for everyone.
Could you tell us more about your experience as the director of the twinning program within Nablus?
Well, in fact, I'm a coordinator or facilitator, you could say. And this program between Stavanger and Nablus as a twinning has been going since 1984.
Wow.
So it's a long history of a friendship relationship between the two cities that was initiated by one person. His name is Kian Rim. And this guy believed in the friendship between the two nations. And so he worked on it until it was officially signed between Mr. Ghassan Shekha, the mayor of Nablus, and the mayor of Stavanger at that time also was Mr. Sivland. And the two of them also officially worked on facilitating and empowering this kind of relation on the official level. And that was, I think, in 1996.
But what's like the spark for this program, or like where did the idea come from to start the twinning between Naples and Stavanger?
Well, friendship cities as a relation, as a phenomena, as a program, whatever you call it, is worldwide. And it comes depending on an initiative by one person who most probably a mayor who believe that there are common things between his city and another city somewhere in the world. And if he is an initiator, then he can propose, and if he is a developer, he can work on it, and if he is a successful person, then it can be accomplished.
So,
But it is most important to say that luckily we had Stavanger as a city.
Yeah, for sure. So, Mr. Nasir, like all of these things can have an influence on Palestinians and Palestinian youth. So, do you have any comments on this thing? Like what this relation between Stavanger and Nablus, of course, it has a lot of benefits and a lot of advantages for Palestinians and maybe for Norwegians as well. Could you tell us more about this?
Actually, you said Palestinians and Norwegians. I could say Palestinians in Palestine and Palestinians in the diaspora, Norwegians in Norway, and foreigners and mainly Norwegians in Palestine. Because these four categories, these four groups of people, in a way or another, will profit from any kind of relationship that could help each one of them. Open-minding the person and the thinking and the way people look at others. The way young people look at the other's culture, the way they present their own culture, you know.
So how can it help the Palestinian case, let's say?
Well, the Palestinian case is could be seen as a normal case as any nation, but you may say that we have a specialty being under occupation.
Yes.
And this influences us in two ways. First of all, Palestinian youth are not easily able to travel outside or have open relations, and this is one way to enable them to have a gateway through to the world. That's one thing, yeah. And the other thing, it is helping us in better storytelling about the case of Palestine when we talk about the political
promoting for Palestine.
Well, awareness is one thing, appreciating Palestinian culture, telling people about Palestinians as nation, you know, Palestinians as people, Palestinians as educated people, and you know, it's telling the truth.
Yeah.
And it's building friendship. I should tell you that you may know that Sweden was the first country who acknowledged Palestine as a state. Now the question may be raised in somebody's mind, why? How did this happen? What was the key factor for making Sweden admit Palestine as a state? I tell you, simply because many of the ministers in the constitution of Sweden are young people who were volunteering in Palestine when they were young.
And, like this is 100% sure, because when I traveled to Norway, they were afraid to come. Not all of them for sure, but like some people or some friends were afraid to come to Palestine because they always hear in the news that there's a conflict and there is Israeli occupation and so on. So when we went there, and my friends and I, we went there and we spent there for 6 months, and people there, and one of them actually, he came here after we came back here. Like he said that I want to see Palestine and I want to experience the culture that you are in. So he came here. His name is Sigbjörn. So and we enjoyed a lot because like it's like a cultural exchange, and he will know more about Palestine and will tell his friends about Palestine.
Well, there are many differences between Palestinians and Norwegians, not only religion but also culture. And there is a big difference when talking about European culture and Palestinian Islamic culture, for example, because this is the majority. And also the misunderstanding of the Palestinian situation caused by the counter media that Israeli media is telling about Palestinians, terrorists, non-educated people, Arabs, you know, this kind of propaganda that is spread all over the world. And when it comes to Palestinian educated, highly educated young people from universities who go and they speak English, they speak other languages.
There are certain barriers that were surpassed, like the language barriers and knowing what's outside Palestine and all sorts of things. Thank you, Mr. Arafat, for being with us here today.
Before I finish, I have one small comment, if you allow me, because I think this is important. There has been many studies about the future of the world on the social aspect. And one of the studies who was successful 50 years ago on their prediction for today, they are telling about the future world 50 years ahead from today. And the assumption is that countries will disappear and there will become Facebook communities.
Yeah, true.
There will become people who are friends with each other without any borders, without any restrictions, without any similarities of culture or religion and so on. So looking at this and considering that the world has become more and more small, they used to call it the small village, it's even smaller than a small village today because of high technology and communication. I think we need to be part of this future.
It's a digital world.
Very true. It's very true. Thank you, Mr. Arafat, for being here with us today and having the privilege to give us such intel and knowledge. I'm going to be spreading the awareness about your program.
Of course. It's a great honor for us to have Mr. Nasir, and also because of Nablus society in Norway is really big, and like whenever you go to Norway, you can see that there are a lot of people who are Norwegians and Palestinians who can help Palestinians there. So it's a great opportunity for people who would love to go to Norway.
And it is very tempting for many Norwegians to come to Nablus as well.
So how can people contact you?
Well, they don't have to, because what we do is through the university, public relations office, or the mainly the students affairs office. And so people who are active in social life, in voluntary work, and the university knows about them. When it is time, it will be published on the website of the university.
That's awesome. Well, there you have it, folks. And for more info, visit NBC Journal or nn.ps. Thank you for watching.